welcome back to another episode of A Work in Progress. I am Nailani,
This is Sam here.
and welcome back to another episode. So, me and Sam watched a video, and we decided to touch base on this topic because we found the we found the video kind of inspiration when watching it, and this is something that me and her had talked about personally ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so basically we were just talking about like times where we felt stuck. We felt like we were like in this sort of funk that we just really couldn't get out,
Mm.
and it was like to the point where we just didn't know like what was like either the next step or basically just how to get out of this situation in general. So I showed her this video with this YouTuber I follow. It's Hannah Elise, basically, and it's her video about how to get out of a funk or a rut, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and tactics and things that she did and used to help herself get out of it mentally. Though it's not all about like just physicality, basically, but just like mentally, because there's times mentally where we can just be in a funk, and it's just like, okay, how do we do this? And I guess like for me, one of the things I learned is that like basically when you're like in a funk mentally, it could be your surroundings around you, basically.
Mm.
So change. I'll say like for me, sometimes I just have to like clean up my room. Clean up the kitchen. Change my scenery and let it like airy and flowy. Lift up the blinds, let some sunlight in. That personally, that's how I kind of get out of a funk. But she's just touching base on certain things that she does and rules and guidelines she set for herself to basically get out of that kind of funk. Which I think we found it so like very inspirational because like as we were watching the video, me and Sam literally were on our phones, like because she was going because like what Hannah did was basically just start going to the gym, and me and Sam are both on our phones over here just like looking up gyms, and was like we got to get back to these gyms that we set memberships with. We're paying for all of
Literally.
this.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, so basically that's like what I normally do is just like I clean up my surroundings and my areas.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, what do you do to like kind of help yourself get out of that type of situation, out of that funk?
That is one thing I try to do is to clean, because in a way it's like therapeutic. There's like you're not thinking about anything else but trying to clean that one spot. Like I told you earlier today that I feel quite proud of myself that I finally was able to clean my room, because from where my TV was to the dresser in the corner was nothing filled with clothes and just paperwork. And
Yeah.
today I got up around noon. It took about 3 hours, but I managed to clean up my room. Only thing left I had to do was organize my shoes. But
Right.
I don't know why, but even for me, this week has been kind of a emotional rut for me. Because I guess maybe I don't know, maybe it's because my body's trying to get back into the emotion of all things. Because I was quite sick last week, y'all.
Yeah.
My allergies was kicking my butt. I didn't want to do anything but lay in bed and just look on the fact that I'm just totally sick. But this week, I don't know, maybe I was physically sick, but this week I feel kind of emotionally or mentally kind of sick. I don't know why, but basically when Nene showed me that video, it kind of helped me feel better and look at certain things and what I can do to get out of it. Cuz obviously we all get in those kind of situations that we just have negative thoughts in our heads, feel bad vibes, and our atmosphere is just not our norm anymore.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I like to do is definitely clean. It'd be like 3 a.m. in the morning. I just get up and go clean something, even if something as simple as the kitchen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause
Or
like
sometimes I like to go for a walk, or watch a funny movie, read a funny
right.
book, or
Mm.
watch funny YouTube videos. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or heck, I just call you just to see what you up to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think like for me after college, I felt like I was in sort of like a funk, but it was like a very depressing funk, right?
Yeah,
Because it's like after college, sometimes it's hard to figure out what is the next step
because we're
in
so
your
used to
life.
being one thing right now. Yeah.
Right. And then also like we graduated during COVID, so like it's not much like
True.
you really could have done.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know like for some people, they were able to still find jobs, but like I think for us, it was kind of hard for us to do anything for that fact. So I felt like I was in like this depression funk or something like that, because like after college, I know like some people just like really get depressed,
Yeah.
um, and that's just like a normal thing. But so I think for me, I just needed a change of scenery. And I know you and me were talking about that too, because we both needed a change of scenery to try to
Mhm.
help get out of our funk and do something different. So, what we did basically is so I moved to Georgia, of course. Sam moved to New York.
Mhm.
I think it took me a year to move, basically, because my initial idea was to graduate, then move within a couple of months. But
Mm.
then we had COVID. Um, and not saying there's anything wrong with my family's home or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
I just felt like I just needed something different. So I definitely saved up money,
Mhm.
got a change of scenery, and then that kind of helped with my funk. And then I had my own space, and actually this was like sort of like a ritual for me at my
Mhm.
old apartment, because my old apartment was somewhat small. And then so what I basically did, I made it like a daily ritual, is to have Sundays off
Yeah,
and
that's a good
just,
idea.
yeah, have Sundays off and power clean my apartment. I
Mm.
mean, from the floors to counters, wiping down everything.
Mhm.
Like I literally cleaned every Sunday, and that included the bedding as well. Cleaned
Yeah.
everything. And then I guess like when I moved, that stopped being a ritual, which is something I'm really trying to get back into, because I am off every Sundays, but it's just like I'm not doing that. And that was just like another way to like kind of open up my space.
I agree.
So things don't get so funky, and and it just didn't feel stuck, because
Yeah.
when I cleaned, mentally my mind is cleaned,
That's
and
true. I
it's
did
not so
hear that
clouded.
when
Yeah.
your atmosphere is clean, then you're clean. To paraphrase, pretty much.
Right.
But yeah, I even my aunt told me that when it comes to even something, yeah, like making your bed first thing in the morning, it's just a good way to start the day, especially yeah, for in your mind.
Hmm.
Like if you once you just do that and you keep doing it, I think it just sets a good motion on how you keep yourself.
Yeah.
Mentally and on the inside and outside, pretty much.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
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 I thought it was just like, it was just something that really helped me out a lot, and it really, really did. And then planning also is like another good way to do it.
I
So
agree.
like, I'll take my phone. I have like a to do, or I have a list for everything, honestly, at this point. A to do list,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have like a bunch of like digital planners to plan out my weeks or anything like that, my plan out my foods and all that. But
It's a good
basically, if I just
idea.
put something like in like a list, it helps out with so planning, it would definitely helps out with that,
You're a
because
visual
it
learner.
yeah, and it also kind of
Mm-hmm.
puts you like, it also like puts your life in order.
It
What like
does.
once it's written out in front of you, it helps put your life out in order. So planning was one thing that I definitely do, even for school. Because when I started school again, I planned out everything. So I planned out what days I'm going to do certain assignments, and this is also one way I don't overwhelm myself as well.
Yeah,
You
I remember
know,
that because on your desk, you had your own calendar, and you have pretty much you had pointed out what you're gonna do this week, next week, side things you had to complete. I remember
yeah,
that. Yeah, it was like on your desk above, I mean below your TV. That's right.
yeah,
Because I've done the same thing, but with sticky notes.
hmm,
Digital planning is fine for those, but I like it's like a book. I like having it in my hands or in like in front of
right,
my face on a paper. So
right, right,
literally next to my bed in college, and I still do this to this day. Write down quotes, lyrics, and anything that helps me keep me motivated
hmm,
in the right mind. It's literally
yeah,
like a whole list of things of like quotes and lyrics that I like. That's very keeps me motivated and puts me like in a better mood. Or even if
Right.
I have things to do, I write it on sticky notes and slap it on my wall.
Yeah.
Literally on my bed to my left right now is sticky notes on there of things I have to do, and also motivational quotes, Bible verses, and all that.
Yeah.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
it
Actually,
helps, yeah.
yeah. I think I like was in college. I kind of did the same thing, but I did it with my phone. So like I get apps that kind of gave me like my daily scripture or my daily quote.
That's a good idea. Yeah, yeah.
And then I remember I did the same thing in high school. So
Hmm.
it's like every day, morning or in the middle of the day before school, I would literally like find me a quote that I liked,
Hmm.
go on Facebook and post that quote every
Mm.
single day. And it really helped a lot of people, especially like close people that I knew, because like you just never know like what somebody's going through. So like just doing
That's
like
true.
the bare minimum or like kind of help them out with their day, and help them get out of this, like whatever funk or rut they're in.
I
But yeah,
agree.
like I'll do that as well. I used to do that. But now like since we have widgets on like our phones and stuff like that, like one of my widgets is basically a quote, and I think I had it before I changed it, but it was basically just telling me like, hey, like don't sweat the small stuff,
Yeah.
which is something I just always does, and I feel that that throws
It's a
me
habit.
in my runt. Yeah,
Yeah,
it throws
yeah.
me in my runt. It's like when I start sweating the small things, because to me like the little things could be like the major things. So like but like just say like with a customer at work, right?
Hmm.
They didn't like how I did this one thing, but it's literally like what we do, because like literally I had a lady she was wanting to set an appointment
Mm.
for a friend for their birthday. So
Hmm.
I was giving her prices of how we do things. I was like, yeah, you have 10 minutes for this amount, 20 minutes for this amount, 30 minutes for this amount. And then she literally stopped. And then she said, well, how do you go up from this price to that price based on the minutes? And I don't know, it just made me so upset because I'm just like, that's the price. Like, like I don't know, like why you're
Mm.
catching, like, okay, like you don't like the price, that's fine. But it
Right.
was like the tone of her that really got to me. And I'm just like, I don't understand like how people can be pissed off about something like this when it's just like, it's not my business, it's not my establishment. You know,
Hmm.
I'm a worker, you sit there, you ask me for a price, I gave you a price, and then you just giving me like this whole big spiel over the phone about how the prices is, and I'm just like, I don't need the whole spiel, lady. You know, but it was just
Yeah,
something like,
yeah.
but it's something out of my control, and it's something so small too. That like to me it was something so small. And I sorted it because like it really had me like jacked up for the rest of the day. And then
Mm.
same thing, like all the stories I tell you when I used to work as a to go host
Hmm.
um
Girl, I don't know.
at
Whew.
Logan's, like no, like it'll be small things that can be easily fixed,
True,
but
but
customers blow it up to be something
right.
totally big, and then it has you jacked up. Like this lady, she was mad about her food, and I understand being mad about your food,
Oh
because
yeah.
okay, like all I do is package it up, right? But I do check it,
Hmm.
So a lady ordered. So what happened basically? A lady ordered I forgot what was the main dinner. I think it was salmon, but it was salmon. She had sweet potatoes as
Hmm.
her side, and she had corn as her side.
Mm.
And when she came, and then like one of the hostess came and got me and told me that the lady with the last order wanted to talk to me. So I went up there. She just gave me like the most nastiest look and most nastiest attitude ever. And luckily, my manager was standing right up there. She literally said to me, and she said, "I am no dog. This is disgusting. That there's a macaroni noodle in my corn, and my sweet potato is soggy. You know, you know." I
Oh
am no
my
dog. I
goodness.
don't appreciate paying this amount of money for this. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go get it fixed for you. I kept my cool. My manager says, I understand you're upset, ma'am, but you guys to talk to my employee like that. So, like, she stood up for me.
That's good.
But what I explained to the lady after I got her food fixed, what I explained to her was just like, I did not see the macaroni in your corn. I'm sorry
Mhm.
for that.
You didn't
And
make
then
the food either.
yeah, and I also told her for the sweet potato, I have no way of knowing that it's soggy or not,
Right.
because when you get it, it's wrapped up in foil and you cut it open. We don't open it at all. We
Mhm.
just give you your sweet potato, we give you your toppings, and you assemble it yourself, for like safety reasons or like safety health reasons.
Right.
So I wouldn't have never known for that. But then she did apologize to me for how she did talk to me. And but then like it was like some simple things, right? That could have been that could be easily fixed. You just tell me what's wrong.
Right.
And and I wasn't gonna sweat it until she made it that huge about it. And that's when, and then like, but like honestly, at that job, I was in a whole lot of bad moods. I was in a whole, I was in a really bit like mental funk at
I
that
believe
job.
you. Oh yeah.
Because like food service is so hard.
It is hard. I
And
never really recommend anyone who's starting
going
out in
into
the
food,
don't do it.
yeah, like I really don't recommend, like, I mean, unless you love the food industry, I say okay, yeah, go ahead for it.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
like, but like if you just need a job, I just don't think food service is so worth it, because
People are really picky about their
yeah, they're
food.
picky about their foods. They talk to you in the most disgusting manner, as if you created it. And you create pricing with it. Because I literally had a guy telling me to talk to my managers about the pricing of salmon.
Mm.
And I'm just looking at him like,
Like
babe, like
really?
I don't control that. I don't know. And then like, like I mean, I kind of like it how you think that I have a voice in all of this. Like, I thank you
Right.
for that, but
You
like I
just you just
really I
take the
really
orders, deliver it,
exactly.
pick up the
Right.
food, and give it to the customer.
Exactly. I mean,
That's
like,
all.
if you have a problem with it, I say call corporate for that crap, man. Like, I can't do nothing
Yeah.
about that. But yeah, it's just like, but yeah, it's just
Okay.
like, yeah, but it's just like that job put me in like a mental physical rut, because like, or funk, or it jacked me up mentally to the
Oh
point
yeah.
where like I'm leaving there angry, and I'm bringing that into my environment at
This is,
home,
see, yeah, that's a
which
bad
is
thing.
jacking up my environment, because like
Exactly.
when you're like in a funk or a rut or anything like that, you have to change your environment, and you kind of have to like not bring negativity within your environment.
Right.
Hence all the stories that we're telling you guys, because we got impacted with those issues at work, and
Right.
it kind of leaves us upset for the remainder of the night, and we're going home and we're poisoning or tainting up our environment
Right.
at home that we created so hard to build.
Exactly. And
So
it's like the
yeah.
theater, like whatever, like when you're coming in to perform, leave it at the door.
Yes, yeah,
Just
that was
leave it at the
always a
door.
rule that we learned in college, was that like, when you're on stage, whatever issues that you have do not exist.
Exactly. You're
The
there to
art
do
and the
one
craft
thing.
exists.
Yeah. You're there
Yeah.
to do one thing and yeah, hone your craft. And when you're on that stage, you do what you gotta do. Whatever
Right.
happened out there, leave it.
Yeah.
So that's
Like,
how I see it too. When you leave from work, stays at work.
yeah, whatever issue. Yeah, and then because it comes and it ruins your environment, but also it ruins the environment of everyone that's around you that probably live with you at home.
I
So
agree.
yeah, so like if you're just like in a wrong or a rut or a funk, change your environment. That's probably what you
Mm-hmm.
need. You probably need to like detoxify your environment. Because I remember in college, I felt like sometimes my environment was not all that great,
Yeah.
and so I had to fill my room with positivity.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get my mind right. I had to get my area right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, for me, Sam, all the quotes and the planning, and the cleaning, and
Mm.
the all that stuff, that's how we did it. That's how
And
we
it
got
still
through
helps to
it.
this day. It really
Yeah.
does. And a guy told me that one day while I was at work one time. It's just that you really can't take it personally. Easier said than done. We know, yes, but you
Right.
really can't. Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, it's not their problem. I mean, it's not your problem. It's theirs, and they just like to
Right.
take it out on you because you're just right
You're
there.
you're right there present. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
had a lady at my last job. she came to me with an attitude, and
See?
she acted
Yeah.
like she had to wait that long for her food, because
Mhm.
literally when I put her order in after she called me, I put it in,
Mhm.
and then she appeared 5 minutes later thinking it was supposed to be ready, not knowing
5
that
minutes?
yeah, like
In
yeah,
5 minutes?
like 5 to 10 minutes, basically five to 10 minutes. She thought her food was
Okay.
supposed to be ready, and I'm like, and then like what my manager had explained to her, it was like, baby, you ordered a steak that takes about 20 to 30 minutes to cook.
Right, a
You
steak with,
know,
I'm sure, other sides that she wanted.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, so like
That's
basically,
gonna
so
take a second.
yeah, it's gonna take a minute, but like, but and I saw her again, and then
Mhm.
she knew that she gave me hell with what happened last time,
Mm.
but like but like just hearing her admit that the second time, I was just like, yeah, no, she was in an attitude funk, she was having something wrong, and I was there present, took it out on
Yeah.
me. Same thing with another lady. She kind of put her order in kind of late when we're starting to close down the kitchen.
Mhm.
And, after me and a hostess explained to her everything, she was nice about it. And she said, she's like, I don't mean to be me. I'm just hungry. And I just find this and like, and like, she looked at me and she said, like, it's not you. I find it ridiculous how they do their rules of shutting down a kitchen. Like, say if I got up at 10 o'clock, the kitchen closes at 9, basically, I guess, or
Right.
like 8:30, and then she said, like, but like when there's like late people, I mean, people get off work, they're hungry, I was like, what, I get it, I understand,
Yeah, I
of
get you,
course,
true, but,
yeah, but
hon,
like,
I don't make the rules.
is
I didn't.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I told, and that's what we explained to her. We was like, it's not our rules, and she said, no, I understand it's not your rules, but I kind of hate how your bosses have those kind of rules, you
Mm.
know. But yeah, it's just like, don't take it personally,
You don't.
I
That's just
like
one of the things. Yeah, don't
like
take it personally.
yeah,
Don't sweat the small stuff, like you said, Nay. Like, really,
yeah,
it's in the end, it's not that big of a deal. But
yeah,
also, when you leave work, like I said, just keep it there.
yeah, yeah.
And
Like, keep your
yeah,
problems there, because you don't want to come in here and put yourself in further into that, mental, like that, in that poisonous funk, or in all that stuff, like,
right,
like, you don't want to bring that vibe into your place,
right,
because like, to really get out of that headspace, you have to change everything around you. So,
yeah,
and you don't want to poison it, you just want to keep it there. I know it's so hard to do it,
easier said than
and
done, right?
yeah, it's so hard to do it, and we understand that. I think one of the things I did was, turn on something that kind of helped me get out of that mindset. Or
Mm-hmm.
I'll call Sam or my mama, and I just vent to them about what happened.
It
And I feel
helps.
better, honestly.
Yeah,
It helps
it
to
helps.
vent, whenever you're in that kind of vibey
Yeah.
mood,
And it helps to also like someone give you another look on it. And in the end, you're like, oh yeah, it was like that. Like, why am I getting mad about something like that?
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you're at home, like you said earlier, it's good to have something nice in your atmosphere, like a nice smell, or you put on something nice in the background. I've
Yeah.
started recently, whenever I get up knowing I have to go out, I put on some nice relaxing music, like Lofi Girl. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put on that and it helps a lot. Or on
Yeah.
Sundays, I like to turn on my church and listen to the sermon, especially when it's a really good one. It helps.
Right.
Yeah. And it helps
Yeah.
you to, and when you do that, I think it just sets your whole mood great for the rest of the day.
It
Actually,
does.
especially after you get your nice morning coffee.
Right. And then, so me and Sam were also going over other things that we help ourselves to get out of funk or run. And there was like working out, of
Yeah.
course, was one
Mhm.
of them that we discovered. So like I said, we were back on our phones trying to like redo our gyms and subscriptions and things like that.
Yeah.
And I was telling her about this challenge that certain people, that not certain people, but that people use to really help themselves,
Mhm.
because it's for, like, self-worth and for perseverance and things like that, self-confidence, and it is the 75 hard and soft challenge. So basically, what I was speaking to Sam about this challenge, and this is like a really good way to like refresh yourself and to get out of that funky vibe. But basically, I was telling her that what the challenge is that 75 hard is what most people call it, because I only learned about 75 soft like afterwards. But
Yeah.
75 hard basically is what I've been hearing, which is, you know, drink yourself a gallon of water, because there's certain rules to it. You read about 10 pages of a book that you're
Mhm.
picking, and for 75 hard they normally recommend like a self-care book, or like a book, like, or like a motivation book basically,
Yeah.
which I do have some I would do want to read. But basically 75 hard, you have to do it for 75 days consecutive
Mm.
basically. 10 pages of a book, drink a gallon of water. You have to do two 45-minute workouts, basically.
Mhm.
And what one couple that I follow on TikTok did was they did, their morning, like get up like 5 in the morning, I guess, breakfast, read, workout for 45 minutes, go to the gym. And then their second 45-minute workout was them just walking out at night. Well, I mean, like they did like their little night or like sunset walk, but like their other 45-minute was to work out, and so that was that one. And then the 75 soft, basically the same method,
Mhm.
75 days consecutive. But you can do, you read 10 pages of a book of your own choosing that you can do. um while the 75 hard is a little restricting, I think it's like 3 liters of water you gotta drink, and then one 45-minute workout. And then I think for both you're only allowed like 1 day of resting. But yeah, it's 75 days consecutively. Got to keep it going. Got to keep it moving, basically. Um, which
Okay.
I thought was like very very good and inspirational.
I
And then
agree.
when yeah, and then like when reading the benefits about it, like I said, confidence, self esteem, perseverance, self worth, self belief, fortitude, and grittiness. It just helps with all those things, and I think it just helps you mentally as well to get out
Yeah.
of that funk, basically.
I
So
think it's
I
the
think
first step
workout
to
was
do it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
I think like
sorry.
you could. I think the girl that we watched, she said like I think what Hannah said was 30 days. If you want to do 75 days, you could apply it to 30 days if you need
Yeah.
to be. Because I know like 75 is kind of pushing it for some people.
I was about to
You
say
know,
that, like, I think a
yeah.
good way to start is obviously mentally start that way, but I think 30 days is a, or even not, even if not 30 days, I say maybe 7, like a good week. Start
Yeah,
off with a week and then see how that goes.
yeah,
And then you
and
can
it,
actually look at it and like take some things out and add some things in.
yeah, and then like if you can go for a week and you want to go for another week, go ahead and do it. So I think I can like for some people
Right.
like pushing like 75 days. So yeah, like because I understand like they want you to do it like consecutively,
Oh, okay. Yes,
but
yes,
yeah,
yes,
but
yes,
I
yes.
think like for some people like 30 days is like a really good start to see if you can really go for the full 75 days. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
30
basically
or at least a week is a good way to start. Just if you do it as with 7, I think if you just look at it and like take things out or add things in, that's when you can really
yeah,
see like, oh yeah, I can probably do this. But
yeah,
definitely how to start I think is with your mind, to stay proactive. Because I was looking at also, you ever heard that masterclass thing? All these
yeah,
celebrities and yeah, coming in talking about
right,
certain things. I've
right.
been wanting to look into that, but I have looked at a few on YouTube, and I saw one where it says that 4 signs that when you're stuck in a rut. And I just wanted to know if you ever felt this way. So it
Hmm.
says discontentment in one or more areas of life can lead to a person being in a rut. Consider the following signs: is a lack of inspiration. I'm sure we all been there.
Yeah, especially like when I'm in school, like
Mm-hmm.
I have like motivation, inspiration for like the first few weeks, and then after that, I'm just like dropping dead on it. I
Yeah.
still push myself to get the stuff done, honestly, but like yeah, like no, I get that.
I agree because you're right. Be like that when you're like you're like in an inspirational flow. Like you doing do this, you're doing that, and then one day it's just gone.
Yeah,
Yeah. Another one says experiencing negative thoughts. Oh yeah.
all the time.
all the
especially at night when everything's quiet and
mm-hmm. And you
it's
hear the
just
voices talking.
yeah, yeah, no. That's me at night.
Yeah. Uh, it says, with an experiencing negative thoughts, it says if you feel your personal or professional life is not progressing, you might experience negative thoughts or engage in a negative self-talk. This negativity can become an obstacle, keeping you from achieving your goals. That's definitely a work in progress right there. Trying to keep
Definitely.
positivity in your head.
Yeah.
Mhm. The third one is inability to complete tasks, especially simple tasks like laundry and exercise, may fall to the wayside if you do not put your needs first.
So workouts, I power through it, but I kind of cheat myself on that one. I kind of look for like the 10 minute, 5 minute workouts. Um, but yeah, no, but like for girl for laundry, I'm like I officially turned into one of those people who, because normally I'm like I'm gonna get my laundry out in this one day, and then like
Mm-hmm.
no, like my stuff is sitting in the washer and dryer for like a whole week. I have definitely
You
turned into
sound
those
like
people.
me.
And like,
Good.
because I used to hate that in college, honestly, because I
Yeah.
couldn't get my stuff in and out. So like, but like, I guess like since I live alone, I still hate that I do it,
Mm-hmm.
that I let myself this stuff sit there, and then I'm wondering why I don't have a fresh pair of socks because they're all in the washer. So I'm like, and I'm sitting there getting mad, but like I have no one to be mad at but myself. But yeah.
Exactly. Or even with me, because I tend to leave my clothes on my bed after I do my laundry in the corner. And
Mhm.
eventually I'm just like, okay, I gotta get up and fold these. Or I look at my clothes when I gotta go out somewhere, like, why are they so wrinkly? But again, yeah, mad at myself because obviously it's in the corner of
You're
my
the one
bed.
who did it.
Yeah, you're the one who did it.
Yeah.
The last one is resistant to change. You may aspire to create your change in your own life, but the thought feels overwhelming and unpleasant. That is definitely a hard thing to do. Is try to change. Anyone can change, but the will to do it can be tough. And
Right. Yeah. And then because you're just so comfortable with what it is.
right, but that's also
And
a
that's,
bad thing.
yeah, because like that's where, because you're trying to get out of this funk,
Mm-hmm.
but you're so comfortable with it. You're like, you're willing to let yourself sink into it more. So the more you do that, the more it's going to get hard to get out of it. So I think like while you have the open door to go ahead and do the changes, I say go ahead and do it. It's going to be hard, of course, because you're definitely comfortable with it, but you just got to like talk to yourself and be
Right.
like, what is best for me, to stay in this funk or to get out of it. And then like any like and like if you fall back into it, do not beat yourself down, because like what Hannah said in the video was that like, whenever she falls out of what she's doing, she gives herself grace. So she let
Exactly.
her,
Yeah.
so like she'll let herself have it, but then she'll tell herself like, okay, we need to get back to it, we need to suck it up, push ourselves, get back into it.
At least
But
she was
like
honest
it
with that one. Yeah.
exactly, she was, and that's what I really love about her videos is the amount of honesty that she gives you
Yeah.
within her videos. um but like she's definitely right, give yourself grace, do not sit there and get mad at yourself, because every time I make it a habit, because I think it was either this year or last year,
Mm-hmm.
when it was the new year, I told myself we're gonna work out. We're gonna work out. We're gonna get strong. We're gonna build muscles, because I have
Mm-hmm.
no muscles in my body. Well, I have muscles in my body, but I don't have no strong muscles in my body. So I
Mm-hmm.
told myself work out, work out, work out. I used to do like snap private stories on body positivity, where I started loving every part of my body. I mean, I don't show anything, but like I start saying to myself, like, it's okay to do this, okay to do that, it's okay to
Yeah.
look this way, work out, do what you gotta do. And those things I fell off from, and I beated myself up. I didn't give myself grace about it, because I didn't tell myself, like, it's okay, just you'll jump back on the horse. No, I beat myself down because I dropped the desire to do it, basically.
Right.
Like I didn't keep up with it. But you just have to give yourself grace. You have to tell yourself that you're human.
You're
That's like
gonna
stuff
make
like this is going,
mistakes, and I
yeah,
agree.
like,
Cause
yeah, like stuff like this is gonna happen, so you
yeah,
just can't really just like crap on yourself, like, no.
you have to celebrate the small victories because there's real rarely ever any ones. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly, because like it's like the fact that you got out of bed and you did it for that day. That's the victory right there. You
I
got out of bed and
agree.
you did it.
The fact that you got out of bed, brushed your teeth, washed your face, ate breakfast, and
Right,
started getting on the move with your day, in my opinion, that's something there. That is a small victory. Even if you didn't
exactly.
get to the big task in one day, at least you did
Right.
something, you
Yeah,
know?
like yeah, like just tell yourself like like you said, just, like, just give yourself grace. Tell yourself like you've got this. It's okay that you fell
Mm-hmm.
off. I am a work in progress because I'm still working on this. I'm still working on myself. I'm still working to be a better part of myself, and I'm still working out to get out of this funk. Because like
Exactly.
if you don't get because one of the things that she was very honest about is that she felt like that she didn't quite did everything that she was supposed to do to get out of her funk. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she felt like she was still in it, and she was so honest about it. And then, but like, well, one of the things she basically just stated, or like, like to sum her up, basically, was that that it's okay. It's gonna be like that.
Right.
So it's just like don't look to get out of your funk or your rut overnight. Don't look. Don't. It's not an overnight process.
It's
It's
not.
like
Nothing happens
we're
overnight.
not. Yeah.
Nothing.
It's not an overnight process. It's gonna take some time. So don't again. Do not beat yourself up if you haven't hit it quick. For some people, it can be quick. For some people, it cannot be quick. But
Exactly.
you just gotta give yourself time. Like
But
just give yourself
again, the
time.
small victories. It's always the small victories that really help you get your motivation going.
Right.
Yeah, at least for me. But I'm pretty sure it goes to that for a lot of people. But speaking of which, in the master class, it said that a few things that can help you get out of your runt is to evaluate your situation. Like, look around you and see what's going on. The first step in getting out of the rut is to understand why you're in one in the first place. Notice
Right.
the signs and figure out what area of your life is causing this discontentment. In a great place, it's a great place to start. I agree with that. Another
Me
one
too.
is to focus on your well being. Like we were talking about, working out, cleaning up, just simply getting up and washing your face and brushing your teeth. Like, just start feeling like yourself again. Develop a self care plan. Simply add one self care activity to your daily routine at a time. These activities might include making a healthy meal, going for a walk, reading a book you love. Prioritizing your needs will help you feel more positive and promote self love. I agree. It all starts with yourself. Another one is, oh, this is a good one. Get outside of your comfort zone. And in your free time, get outside your comfort zone and give your best effort to try something new. Take a class, go to a new restaurant, or attempt a new hobby at home. You ever tried that, Nene? A new hobby at home, especially during when COVID happened?
Not when COVID happened. Well, okay, I take it back. Yes, because when I was in school or attending SCAD for that short time, I took up art and DIY.
Mm.
So
Oh,
I
see,
was
DIYs
always
are fun. Yeah.
yeah. So I always did that. Whatever I saw on like YouTube, I did it at home because I was like, I want
Mm.
to do that at home. So yeah. So like yeah. So like that's what I did. And that's how like I did that. And then I think also okay. I kind of stopped doing it because I kind of failed at it, and I need to
Mm.
get back to it. But I learned how to do sourdough. So
Mm.
basically, I had my starter. I had my starter, and then I did the whole entire recipe thing to do like the sourdough bread.
Mm.
That took something went wrong. Something went wrong very bad. Like my doughs keep getting wet and sticky. So I was like, okay, let me throw some flour on it. Then when I tried to bake it, it got to like the hard bread consistency,
Mm.
but the inside was not good. Like that was terribly bad.
Ooh.
So we was like, I was like half of a way there, but something went wrong and just had to fix that. But like, yeah, no, those are the hobbies I took up was just like during COVID DIY, and then a month ago I want to say was sourdough, and I gave up on sourdough. I was like, I'd rather just buy it from the grocery store, man. I don't feel like
Sourdough is definitely not one of my favorites, but you do you.
no, I mean the bread is good, but trying to make it or trying to make bread in general, that is a hard process.
Mm,
Because you have to get the starter correct, and because the starter really reflects on the bread.
yeah.
But I was just like, you know what? I just rather go to the grocery store and purchase you because I cannot do that right now, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least you tried. That's one thing
Yeah,
I appreciate when someone does that. The least thing they can do is try.
right.
You know,
And I did.
if
I
at
tried my
the
best.
quote, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, set small goals. It's the next
Mhm.
one. Think of realistic goals you can
That
accomplish
was
in a
not
short
realistic, but I
period
get
and
it.
take a realistic to me. Maybe making bread.
That was not realistic. No, I set myself up for failure on that one. I
Oh,
will
come
not lie.
on. No. I mean, I'm not the best baker in the world either, but I can still try and make some good cookies.
Cookies are not that hard. If you just follow the ingredient, you got it.
Same thing with bread. You just got to follow the ingredients, and if that
I
don't work, try
did.
something else.
I did. It was so doughy on the inside. It tasted really bad.
I mean, I tried making cookies and I end up burning them.
Well, were you
So
watching it? Were you watching it?
I
Cause,
was.
cause no. Okay, so like that's the problem with some people. It's like, yeah, I burned it. I don't know why. Cause you weren't watching it.
No, I
Or
did. I
like,
was watching it, but when I took them out, they were really burnt on the bottom. So either I didn't wash the pan properly, or I didn't spray it down enough.
see, okay, see, that's where parchment paper comes into play. Cause I don't
Yeah,
like spraying down my pan. I
I did,
use parchment paper,
I did not
and
have
that's
that.
about it. Yeah. And then was like I had this guy over,
Mm-hmm.
and we made cookies, right? So
Nice.
like so what he did not do, because I asked him could he grab them,
Mm-hmm.
he turned off the oven, but left them still in the oven. So like so as the oven's cooling down, they're still getting hot,
Mm.
you know, because like because the oven's hot and it's gonna stay hot until it cools down.
Sure.
So you're cooking the cookies extra little bit long, and they burn.
Mm-hmm.
And then so when we're looking at them, we're like, I'm like, why are they so burnt? And he said, I don't know why. I just turned off the oven like you asked me to. And I said turn it off and take them out, not leave them in there. That's why they burnt. It was funny though.
Oh god, that's funny. Oh
I don't
my
know.
goodness.
It kind of made me mad too. I was just like, okay, okay,
I said
whatever.
take him. I said turn it off and take him out. Not leave him in there.
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
ridiculous.
Oh, and it wasn't cookies, y'all. I'm sorry. It was actually queso. I tried making queso, and that's what burnt.
The
And
sauce case though?
yeah, soft cheese queso. Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. I thought I could try making my own
Your own queso.
in
Yeah.
my own queso, and I failed miserably. And yes, now that part is true. It actually did burn.
Okay, yeah. No, sauce can easily burn. So yeah, no, I
Yeah.
understand that.
So it wasn't cookies. It was queso.
Yeah,
But no, really. Think of realistic goals. In my opinion, those realistic goals, to accomplish in a short period and take small steps to achieve them. Showing yourself you can make progress and do things you love will boost your self esteem and help you feel a sense of purpose. So, like that 75-day one, I think a good way to start is just seven,
yeah,
and then escalate to more if you want, if you think you can do it.
yeah. Just like do like so basically, yeah, like do like seven hard. So basically, just try to do those rules for 7 days. If you can do the first 7 days, try it for the next week, and then keep going and keep going. Like
Exactly.
start small, basically.
It's like buying it's like buying clothes or shoes and you don't know how the size works. Sometimes it's good to start up and then work your way down.
All right.
Yeah. I know it's a weird example, but that's the only thing I can think of. But number 7 is spend time with loved ones. Schedule time with friends and family and open up to them about your feelings. Talking to others about what you're experiencing and feeling can be helpful. See? Yeah. That's whenever I need to vent, I call you or my family and just tell them how it is and just to get another opinion because sometimes it helps.
Yeah.
And last but not least, talk to a mental health professional. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Talk to a
Yeah,
therapist.
yeah. Because if you feel like you're stuck, you just probably need to talk it out. So and there's no shame in
It
therapy.
it's not. There's no
There
shame.
is no shame. If you feel like you need the extra help, go get that extra help. Because honestly, like they'll talk to you, because it's like talking to another person. Of course, you're paying them to talk to them, but
Right.
like you're talking to another person. You're getting like another person's insight as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then like I know like from like I never been in therapy, but like from what the portrayal of therapy, that I hear about is that like they always give you like little assignments to do at home,
Mm-hmm.
and those assignments literally like help you look at everything, and probably like see things
From a
like
different light.
you from different like visually, so like um that movie why'd I get married, basically,
Yeah.
when because one of the girls, she was like a doctor, a psychiatrist,
Mm-hmm.
and like she would do lectures and things like that. So basically what she told her friends, um or maybe she was a counselor, she was one of those things, but basically when her friends were having like husband issues,
Mm-hmm.
she gave them like a little exercise. She said, take this piece of paper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she said, on one side, like on one side, write all the good things about the marriage, or all the good things that they do for you, and then on the other side, write all the bad things that they do to you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it, and then she said, if the bad outweighs the good, okay, so be it. Leave.
Do
what
what
works
feels
for
right to
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but if the good outweighs the bad, fix it. Fix the issues. Swallow. Like get. Like just whatever the issue is, put it to the side, or go to them and talk to them about it.
I
You
agree.
know, because like if they do so much good things for you, it's not worth the fight. Because you end up losing that person, then like you're lonely in life. So like just that. So basically that's what she was saying. But so like they will always therapists will always give you like topics, not topics, but always give you like a little piece of homework. So it's no shame in going to therapy and talking to someone,
None
because
whatsoever.
yeah, because it's another opinion, it's another perspective, and then
Mm-hmm.
also they're there to help you work through it and work it out. So
Yeah. Whether it's with the therapist or your family and friends, you should never denounce your feelings. It's like a
yeah,
soda. If you keep bottling it up, you're gonna burst eventually. So just let it out. Let it
yeah,
out. Let it out. And
yeah,
how I see, and again, that's another good victory you should have. It's just simply talking to someone how you feel.
yeah,
Because you should mourn the losses because there are many, but celebrate the victories because there are few. It's one quote I try to keep in my phone. One
yeah,
of the many quotes I have in my phone as to help me see an insight on different things.
yeah.
But I agree. Just talk to someone and try to get a different insight. But as we close out this podcast, this episode, really, I have a question for you, Nene.
Hmm.
As the end of this week comes along and the new week is among us, what will you do to benefit your future self this week?
Nothing. Okay, no, I'm joking.
That's
um
dark.
Powerful words. No,
Mm,
for my future self, honestly, just seek new opportunities,
mm,
get better planning, because I have been really off my planning game. When I feel put together, I like planning helps me put together, and
mm,
it just like kind of opens up like a brighter perspective, like a brighter road for me,
yeah,
honestly. And it like honestly, because like I said, it helps me out mentally. So if it helps me out mentally, then I just feel like I can accomplish almost anything and everything. Um, so basically, just new opportunities. I look for that in each week, basically. Um, and then just try to keep myself organized. Declutter the mind, keep myself organized. as we're about to go into the next week because we're recording this on a Wednesday. This comes out on a Friday, so and then also the same question Sam is asking me. You guys ask yourself that same question, honestly. But yeah, those are the things I'm gonna do as the new week comes and further on for to the bright of the future and all this stuff. And also just like some new looks, change of the appearances because I am planning on getting my highlights back in my hair. So
I'm excited to
definitely
see
that.
that.
Me too. I'm so excited to go and change because, another thing that I do to get out of my, little funk that I be in,
Mm-hmm.
because and then because I came to this conclusion last year because I got partial highlights last year because I looked at my hair, I looked at myself, I'm like, it looks the same. I don't like that. We gotta change that up, basically. So I got highlights. Ooh, so I got highlights and then I'm getting highlights again to help kind of like freshen up everything. So that's what I'll do. What about you?
For me, um, hmm. Well, it's like a New Year's resolution. Um, every New Year's, I always say what I'm gonna do is take each day step by step and be grateful for what I have. Particularly this week, I'm gonna work on a lot of gratitude for myself because I have come
Hmm.
a long way from when I was
Yes.
a kid, and I'm very proud to see it. Considering I'm gonna be 28 this Tuesday.
It's okay. It's okay. Girl, look, nothing milestone. Don't even worry about that age.
Oh, I know.
You still young and vibrant, so
Shucks. But again, this week has been really an emotional rut for me. But I believe in God that as the days go on, I'll feel better. I will get there.
you
So if
will.
when anyone asks me like, "Are you okay?" I will be. I will be.
Exactly.
But it's a work in progress. It's a step by step process. It's not going to be an overnight thing. But I do know that I am grateful for where I've been, where I'm going, and where I am right now.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm going to work on this week.
of course.
It's a
And then
nice it's a nice early birthday gift to myself.
of course. And then, so like I sent Sammy her birthday gift, but I'm gonna send her a journal for her birthday too.
Mm,
Because it's time that we start, keeping a gratitude journal. So every time you wake up, write down what you're grateful about.
mhm,
Three things before you go to bed. Because you had a whole full day of events and things. So before you go to bed, three things. What are you grateful for? And then then that's about it. You're done.
exactly. And when you wake up in the morning, just yeah, think of the good things, listen to music, you know, or to simply just getting your coffee and thinking that you're able to drink it. Love
Yeah.
the small things. Love the small things, y'all.
Yes. Of
Mm.
course. All right, you guys, it is now the end of the podcast. And before we end off our podcast, we always have to do our little segment. So if you've been here for a while and you know about our segment, here's another one. But if not, our segment is called The Real Review. And that's
Mhm.
where me and Sam pick a movie that we both have seen. We'll rate it 1 to 5 stars. And we, rate it on theme, plot, and dialogue. And we always ask yourself, will we watch this movie again, depending on how much we loved it. So this movie, it was normally performed on stage, and given the fact me and Sam are theater majors and we love theater, we're very familiar with the story. And then it was converted into a movie, and it was directed by Baz Luhrmann.
Mhm.
Lahman. Sorry if I said it wrong. But if you don't know who that director is, it's the same guy that directed Elvis. So it's something you should know about. And the movie was amazing, honestly, in my opinion. But it stars Ewan McGregor. And if you don't know who Ewan is, I don't know how to help you out there, man. But Ewan McGregor basically played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels of Star Wars. If you have not seen that or you don't know what Star Wars is, still can't help you there because I feel like that's something that you should be knowing at this point. But it's all right. It's all right. We don't judge here. but we're judging on the inside. Okay,
Wow.
but
Okay.
yeah, I'm joking. We're not
It's
judging. No,
Moulin Rouge, y'all. It's Moulin
yeah,
Rouge.
yeah. But yeah, the film is Moulin Rouge. It is a classic. It is a classic
Indeed.
for a reason. And one of the things I have to say I like about Baz is that he this certain aesthetics that he uses,
Mhm.
like this, and he used it for Elvis. It was like this dark aesthetic, but with a little bit of light to it, like gold light and all that stuff. So if you've seen Elvis and you've seen like the opening credits, it's like that certain feel and aesthetics that he has in it, and he put the same thing in Moulin Rouge. But to give you guys some insight about Moulin Rouge, it dates back in Paris. I want to say right
Eight. I think.
18
Yeah, 1800s, I
yeah,
believe.
1800s, yeah, but it was like
No,
during a
sorry,
certain
1900s. 1900s.
1900s. Yeah, okay, I was about to say no, that's a little bit off. But yeah,
Mhm.
1900s. It was I think it was like what, after or during the French War, I want to say,
Mm.
is when it took place. But basically the Moulin Rouge is a like a little nice little show club, if that's the right terminology to put it. But basically Ewan McGregor's character is a writer. He
Mhm.
moves to Paris. He meets these like wonderful, fantastic, colorful people. They go to the Moulin Rouge, for like a little nice out nighting, and then he falls in love with one of the dancers. Of course, named Satine, and it's just amazing. It's about their love, of course, even though she's like promised to someone else, for the sake of the club's, opening and reputation.
Mhm.
And it's just like love and conflict and heartbreak and death and all that. It's amazing once you see it. It has some beautiful numbers in it. The dancing, the costume, the colors. I love it all. And when me and Sim go to Paris, we're hoping to go to the Moulin Rouge there. But I
Definitely.
think for me, it's just a beautiful love story. And I don't know, it's the scenery for me.
Mhm.
It's the scenery. It's Paris in the 1900s, and it's so beautiful, so marvelous. And I just think like the scenery really captured the essence of the story, and this whole like it kind of like it's like a forbidden love kind of type thing, because it's like she can't love him, but she loves him.
Right.
And he's not caring about the consequences as long as he's with her, and there's so many obstacles in their way,
Mhm.
in their way of love. And I I normally and I give this movie a whole 5 stars, because when I first saw it, I fell in love with it. Because I'm familiar with the story, of course, from the stage version, but I never even seen it. So therefore, when it came to watching the movie,
Right.
it made me love the story. And I thought Yuan, as always, does amazing.
It's a great
Basically,
voice. I didn't know he could sing, actually.
yeah, is me too. Because the first time I saw him was definitely as Obi-Wan,
Right.
and so I was like, love this guy. I loved him as Obi-Wan. And then when I saw that he was in Moulin Rouge, I was just like, I love him even more. He did
Mhm.
amazing. I feel like he really honed in the character, and the singing was amazing.
Mhm.
And you see him evolve as a character, as well. And I don't know, I loved every bit of it. The ending, and I'm a sucker for love stories. I give Moulin Rouge a 5 out of 5 stars. I think they did really good
Mhm.
in every aspect of the movie, especially especially when Baz Luhrmann is like behind it, because seeing what he did with Elvis and then not seeing what he did with Moulin Rouge, yeah, no, like no, I think he did an amazing job.
He
Um,
did. He did.
yes.
One thing about Baz, I realized how he has, like any other director, he has a certain way of directing and stylizing his movies. It's like a fantasy, you know. Everything is so extravagant, bright, beautiful. But
Right.
whenever something, yeah, tragic happens, it gets really dark. That's seen like in Romeo and Juliet, for example. I
Right.
haven't seen it in a while because I really don't remember how it goes. But I do remember when certain dark scenes happen, it got dark.
Yeah. And then yeah, and I think that's what like envy about him. It's like you can separate his style from everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, like that whole dark but like, shed some light and just so many colors. I it really reflected a lot when I saw Elvis.
I have yet to
Like,
see it, but I did hear it
yeah,
was very good.
it was very good, but then but Elvis had like the same aesthetics as
Mm-hmm.
Moulin Rouge, because that's like what Baz is all about. That's his style,
Right.
and and like he has like a way of really capturing the darkness of like a story, because in Moulin Rouge, of course, it was like during war, and there was like the Moulin Rouge, and then there was like I think he was a duke or something like that. I don't know, but like yeah, no, I think he was like a duke, but basically he was just like trying to control everything, and then
Mm-hmm.
Satine was promised to him, and then like how he was treating her, and then of course Satine is sick within this movie, so there's
Yeah.
also some darkness within that, and
That
then like
scene gets me every time when
yeah,
she dies. Oh man. Spoiler
yeah,
alert, y'all. Sorry.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
spoiler, but yeah, but and also like the love between Yuan's character and Satine, it's like that love that can't happen.
Right.
There's some darkness to that, so it's like he just really good reflecting it. But then of course like he throws his own little style and flavor on it, which I give props to. So how would you rate the movie?
Oh, definitely five out of five. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
I've seen that movie many a times, and it's not a feel good movie, but it is because because when I first discovered it, I don't know, I was a kid and I was immediately like drawn into the film of how it was stylized. It was so much
Yeah.
chaotic fun, especially when they did the can. Oh, I love that scene. And I'm really am glad it was actually a movie first. Well, technically it's a book first, and then a movie, and then a play, which is currently still on Broadway right now. And
Mhm.
JoJo is playing Satine.
But I thought it was a play first, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was
It,
too because it
yeah.
looks like one. Because it's a jukebox musical because you hear a lot of
Right.
songs in there from like actual artists. But no, it was like I think a book first, then a movie, and then the
Oh.
play for came on stage like in 2018, 2020 or
Oh.
something like that. I think I can't remember,
God.
but
Okay. I thought it was the other way around. But okay. Okay.
yeah, but either way, from what I've heard, I've seen like little snippets of it on the stage. Fantastic, same element, same beauty of it. It's really
Yeah.
good. I want to go
Yeah.
see it fully, but the movie, yeah, I can watch it again and again. It's just really, really good. I
Yeah.
just skip the end part because I know what's gonna happen. I just
Right.
cry when Christian cries. It's just so hard. But
Right.
I do want to like those tropes when it comes to forbidden love. Um, People who come from different backgrounds who find love with each other. I just
Yeah.
love stuff. I love tropes like that in movies and books. And yeah, when I first saw it, I was just so drawn in. I wanted to be part of it. And I didn't realize that they were courtesans. I thought they were just like party goers.
Yeah, and I think like one of the things that I'm glad that we know now is that when we go to, because of course like Paris, they have like their own Moulin Rouge show, of course,
Yeah.
and that's something that we're hoping to go to. Now when I first heard about it, I'm thinking like, oh wow, I'm gonna get the whole Ewan McGregor type style, of the movie. But
Mm-hmm.
then someone said it's not the same as the movie; it's just like their own. And
It
there's
is,
also
yeah.
like some controversy behind the
Oh
show
yeah,
in
you told me
Paris.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like again, me and Sarah are the type of people. We're like we're judge.
Optimistic.
Yeah, we're very optimistic, but we're like even though we hear like people say there's controversy behind it, but like honestly on TikTok it's normally people giving their opinion about it, But I mean, but like so like for me, saying we're gonna go judge it for our own because it's not like we're going to knock it down. Plus, I follow a dancer on TikTok. She dances for the Moulin Rouge. She's Canadian,
Oh,
and
well, you
she really
know.
Yeah, she moved from Canada all the way to Paris
Mhm.
to be in the Moulin Rouge, and she just shares her experiences with it. So I'm seeing two sides of it. Of course, I'm seeing
Right.
someone that sat in the audience, and then they say, this is the problem with it, and then you see a dancer who talks about her life as a dancer on the Moulin Rouge.
Right.
She may not touch topics based on like what they have and everything, but like she has fun doing it. The girls have fun doing it. I want to go and see it for myself and just see how it is. But
I
yeah,
would love to as well because I hope that they have changed their ways when it comes to that controversial stuff, especially when it involves race, because
yeah,
it's very insensitive. I read when it came to dances like that.
right,
So I hope that has changed over the years. But
yeah,
pretty much I love Paris. I do like their aesthetic, and when it comes to their history with the can and the Moulin Rouge, it's just so much fun.
right.
And
So I'm so excited.
I am excited to see that too. So we definitely have to make a time instead of day to go there.
Right.
Yeah,
'Cause I think
hopefully, hopefully we can get good seats.
Yeah, because I think we're there for 3 days, so maybe on one of our nights we can like stop by.
Right. But overall, Moulin Rouge definitely 5 out of 5. If you love a good musical, especially jukebox musicals with great dancing, characters, extravagant scenery, and costumes, I think this is definitely right up your alley. And if you
Yeah.
like Romeo and Juliet, then I'm sure you'll like this one.
Yeah, and then if you love Ewan McGregor and you just want to gawk at him, the movie's there for that one. But honestly, I did not know he was in the movie until the the post credits came on. And I saw
Yeah.
his name. I was like, "Oh, he's in it." I'm definitely
Yeah.
watching this because I was just bored, and I was just like, and then like I saw the movie
Mhm.
title, and I was just like, "Oh, I've heard of that. Let me go ahead and watch it." And then I think he was the first one that popped up. Well, okay, so like the post credits came up, and I'm like, this is like a Baz Luhrmann kind of type aesthetics. And then it said director Baz Luhrmann. I was like, I knew it.
Yep.
And then I didn't know U1 was in it until I saw his name pop up. I was
Well,
like
what do you know?
I was like Obi Wan is in this.
I
Oh, we're
think
watching this. Yeah. So
that, and
definitely.
I think it's probably when I first discovered Nicole Kidman. She was marvelous as
Oh
Satine.
gosh. Yeah. No, I loved her. I fell in love with her after that movie.
She's
I was just like,
fantastic, and I think it's
yeah.
also if you like to see her with red hair. Oh yeah,
She
she
looks
look.
beautiful with it. Cause isn't she like naturally blonde or something?
I think she's either a blonde or a brunette. I can't remember, but with her with
Yeah,
red
the
hair.
hair it looked so beautiful. So
Oh
therefore,
yeah,
I really I think I looked her up and I saw like a different hair color. I was just like, I like you with red hair, but like you do you, baby. But she looked really good with red hair.
exactly. But I mean, I just love his movies, so I recommend it. Even The Great Gatsby, it was not the greatest adaptation, but I'll still watch it because I just like the scenery. I just
It
like
has my it has my guy in it. It has my Toby Maguire. It has my Leonardo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
You
Yeah,
got me sold. I ain't like you put two of them in that movie. Oh,
right.
I'm there.
I just like, and also I like the book. Great Gatsby's a great book. Yeah,
I bought me the book, and that's another
I
book
bought me the book.
I bought me the book. Yes, I bought me the book. We don't know no grammar here. I'm joking.
I
No,
bought me the
no,
book.
but I bought me the book. No, but yeah, no. I purchased the book from Amazon. It was really cheap for that book too. But I
Oh,
purchased I purchased the book on Amazon, and that's definitely on my list of books to watch that I have to get through. I'm bringing all my books in my room so I can read them. But yeah,
maybe we should do a video on books and we can talk about it because I did like The Great Gatsby. In the movie, it's so different, obviously,
yeah, of
but
course,
and we can talk about why it is. But it's still a pretty good adaptation. Not the best, but it's pretty good.
it's good. But
Yeah.
yeah. But yes, you guys, that is our real review. Thank you for tuning in as me and Sam ramble on. But no, we thank you guys for being here, for just sticking with us to the end of the podcast. You guys are the real ones.
Your love and support
Um,
is always appreciated, y'all.
it
Love,
definitely
support, and
is.
views. Thank you so much.
Yes, yeah, no, we appreciate it. We're growing slowly but surely, and that we
Mm-hmm.
do, we do appreciate. Every follow is a victory. But yes, no, we thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Work in Progress. So do not forget to subscribe to this video, and do not forget to look down in the description. We have my social media, Sam's social media, the podcast social media,
Yes.
and then if you and I think I also have our other platforms, um, like where else we're on. So yeah, we're definitely here on YouTube. We're here on Apple, Spotify, and we recently just got onto Google Podcasts.
Yes.
So definitely go show us some love there if you use Google Podcasts. But no, we thank you guys so much. And Sam, what do you have to say to our lovely people out there?
For one thing, you will be seeing our faces very soon. We just had a lot of camera technical difficulties. So I'm glad you got used to our voices. So now you'll be getting used to our beautiful faces.
Yes.
But on that note, as the rest of this week goes on, y'all, stay safe and stay nerdy. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, you guys.
Mwah.